We're going to go over the theories in child development. We're only going to go over the 6 most prominent ones used across the board. So the first one is the psychosocial development theory. This one was created by Erik Erikson, and it comes with 8 stages. Stage 1 is trust versus mistrust. This is a foundation of trust. So if the parent meets the needs, the children will trust, and this also goes for the long run. The second one, which is stage 2, and it lasts from 1 to 3 years, and it's autonomy versus shame. It's just acceptance of life from integration versus disintegration. The stage 3 is initiative versus guilt. This stage is where toddlers learn to exercise the will and do things for themselves, such as go to the bathroom by themselves. Stage 3 is initiative versus guilt, and this is where preschoolers learn to initiate tasks, do things on their own as well. Stage 4 is industry versus inferiority. This is where the children learn the pleasure of applying themselves to tasks and doing things, or they will feel inferior. Stage 5 is identity versus confusion. This is the teenager stage where they work at refining a sense of self. And if they don't, they become confused of who they are. Stage 6 is intimacy versus isolation. It's where young adults struggle to form relationships with others. And if they don't, they'll feel socially isolated. Stage 7, it's generativity versus stagnation, and this is in adulthood. And this discovers a sense of contributing to the world in some way or another, whether it's at family, at work, at church. And stage 8 is integrity versus despair, and this is later on in life where people look back at their lives and see if they felt a sense of success or failure. The behaviorist theory was made by B.F. Skinner, and he's one of many contributors. So it's behaviorism. So behaviorism consists of operant conditioning, reinforcements, motivation, and stimuli. Let's see. For operant conditioning, a method learning that occurs through rewards and punishments for behavior, which also consists of positive and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is when presenting the subject with a pleasing stimuli following behavior, such as completing your homework and you'll get pizza on Friday. Negative reinforcement is a response or behavior that is strengthened by stopping, removing, or avoiding a negative outcome or stimuli. So such as not doing your homework consists of taking away your recess. For motivation, there consists of extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. So intrinsic motivation is outside stimuli that influences the behavior. So such as parents encouraging, you do your homework and you get pizza on Friday. Intrinsic motivation is instincts and strives influence of the behavior. So what makes them want the pizza? So they think about the pizza they get on Friday, and that motivates them to complete their homework. Cognitive development theory was made by John Piaget. It consists of 4 stages of cognitive development. The 4 stages of cognitive development, the first one, sensory motor stage, consists of birth to 2 years, and this is when the child begins to interact with others in their environment, such as toys and their family. The pre-operational stage, which is ages from 2 to 7, is when the child begins to represent the world symbolically. The pre-operational stage is ages 7 to 11. This is when the child learns the sense of timing, the sense of quantity. And then formal operation stage, which is usually 11 to 12 years old into adulthood. This is where children learns concrete thinking and learns how to figure out situations on their own. Social learning theory is by Albert Bandura. He contributed to this. And it's 4 steps in observational learning, which is attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. So attention is by paying attention to a model. So we observe others how to color, so we try to copy them. Retention is remembering how the person was coloring and how we try to imitate their behavior. Reproduction is the capacity or the skills for imitating the behaviors. So if we lack in fine motor skills, chances are we're not able to color. And the motivation to complete this activity. So you must be motivated to imitate behavior. If we don't like coloring, we're not going to do it. The sociocultural theory was contributed by Lev Vygotsky, and his focus is more on the environment and the zone of proximal development. So the zone of proximal development just focuses on more how can we as adults help a child do things on their own. We don't focus on what they cannot do or what they can do. We focus more on how can we help to contribute to their learning and their environment. A psychosexual development theory was by Sigmund Freud, and it consists of 5 stages of psychosexual development. The 5 stages, the first one is oral, and it's usually by the mouth or sucking or swallowing, and this is birth to 1 year. The second stage is anal, and it's withholding or expelling feces, and this is from 1 to 3 years old, so it's just eliminating themselves. Phallic is either the penis or clitoris, and this is 6 years old to puberty, and this is where children, and he states that through masturbation they can figure things out. Latency, it's little or no sexual motivation present, and they're more focused on intelligence and learning new things. And the last one is genital, and it's puberty to death. And that's where he states that us humans use more of our physical aspects to love somebody outside of our family, where sexual intercourse happens. Thanks for watching my presentation.